I'm Christian Hinton with Tire Review. Recently, my colleague and I, David Sickles, went to Kansas City for the K&M Tire Dealer Conference. We asked tire dealers one question: how has the tire industry changed from when you started? Whether you are a third-generation tire dealer or started not long ago, all dealers face changes over the last few years. Each had a unique perspective and insight on how to grow with differences.
So how would you say being a tire dealer is different today than it was when maybe you started in the biz? Maybe not as far back as sweeping floors, but...
I mean, just even in the past 10 years that I've really been cognizant of the trends,
Yeah.
A lot more complexity.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, our building was built in '69, so we still have writing on the wall that says this is where the 13-inch tires go, this is where the 14-inch tires go, and the 15s, and that was it.
Wow,
and now there
yeah.
are, you'd know better than me, but between passenger and light truck, like 600, 650 sizes.
Something like that, sure.
And I mean, the amount of vehicles that require an extra load that come standard with run flats, it's definitely more complex than when my dad was my age.
Yeah.
But even in the past 10 years, I've noticed it's, you can't just point to a car and say that takes that size tire, this is what I recommend.
Yeah.
You really have to look up the vehicle fitment, think about what the customer needs.
Yeah.
Just added complexity at every corner.
When my mom and dad started the business, and as I grew up in it, we as independent tire dealers had to have direct relationships with the manufacturers. One guy was the Michelin dealer, somebody else was the Goodyear dealer, somebody was Firestone, and whatever. Now, under these relationships like we have with K&M Tire, we're able to bring every tire to the consumer. So I'm no longer selling them what I have. I'm also selling them what would be right for them. And I don't have to convince them that my brand is the right one. I'd like to do that, but now my brand is not any longer just one manufacturer. It's a whole bundle. So I can truly give the customer what they really want and what therefore they need.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, for sure. Very interesting.
So that's different, way different than it used to be.
Yeah, and more of a, would you say like more of a wider selection to sell from as
Yes,
well?
it is. It's a wider selection of sell
Yeah.
form, and we're no longer bound by that manufacturer. So now,
Right.
if I don't have to say, I don't have that, you have to go down the street, we can get just about anything. So whatever the customer needs. And then the other major thing is the sizes. Oh my goodness. Sizes and speed ratings, it boggles the mind, but it does make us more valuable now, though. It's a little harder to become a tire dealer now, which I like. So
the big difference is a lot more sizes, speed ratings. You have to be careful with different cars. They're designed with the tires way they handle, so you can't. We kind of play with those sizes and the fitments, and you can't do that nowadays. Everything's got to be exact. So that's the biggest, change that we've seen. In the older days, you could just throw the next size up and be good and comfortable with it. You just can't do that nowadays.
Yeah. And how have you dealt with that? Like, have you had to like expand your vendors, like at least?
Well, not really. There's a couple main vendors. K&M being one of them. They stock most of the size. The good thing about K&M, they have a fitment chart that you can. It automatically calculates it for you. You don't have to figure it out on your own anymore.
Right.
So that helps with their online system that they use for WebLink.